Hello again everyone, and welcome back to day 15 today of our CADvent. I'm back on Autodesk Revit, showing you one of the more, I'm going to say frustrating tools inside of Revit, not because it's difficult to use, but there are lots of different bells and whistles and options to get your different outputs. So we're going to be looking at staircases and creating a simple set of stairs for the building that we've got inside of Revit. So I'm going to just swap the camera over onto my screen and then we'll get started. Okay, so here we are then, same model as we've been working on so far. And once again, just like we did last time, we're going to activate the ground floor view. When you're creating a staircase, you need to have a level where you want to start and a level where you are going to. So you need to define the bottom and the top of your staircase. And what Revit will do is it has calculation options stored against the stairs, which it uses to calculate the number of risers and whatnot. So go to your ground floor and define where you would like your stairs. And for me, what I want to do is I want to start the stairs just here, following up this wall, turning to the left, and then continuing up this wall up to the first floor of our building. So we're on the ground floor. We're going to go to architecture and we're going to go ahead and find the circulation panel. And from there, we're going to click stair. And much like any component that you place inside of Revit or any wall or anything like that, we have a type selector and you will have some default types to choose from within your template. Again, you can change these in your template and configure them as you see fit. I'm going to go and choose the residential left saddled staircase. And before we go in and use it, I'm just going to show you that under the instance parameters, we've got dimensions, and it shows us the number of risers, the tread depth, the riser height, so on and so forth. Revit's going to use those variables alongside the calculation rules. So if you click Edit Type and look under the calculation rules, you can see that you've got maximum riser height, maximum tread depth, minimum run width, and also calculation rules that show you how Revit is calculating that set of stairs. If you change the options within the instance parameters to fall outside of these calculation rules, for example, if I lower the number of risers to make the riser height bigger and it goes over 170, it will error. Okay, it will still generate stairs, but it will error. Let's quickly show you that. So I'm going to say that I want 15 risers rather than 21. That puts my riser height to 233. It made an error come up. 21, no error. 15, error. If I go into Edit Type and change the maximum riser height to 250, just for argument's sake, I can now drop that to 15 and it won't error. So it's all about getting your stairs configured correctly and set your calculation rules so that it works the way that you want your stairs against whatever building regs you're working to in reality. I'm going to stick with this because it's going to work for the example that I have today. You can also, within your Edit Type selector, choose the construction of your stairs. So what type of run do you want to use? What landing do you want to use? Is it interior or exterior stairs? What supports does it add? Does it add balustrades? So on and so forth. You can add all of that in there. Look at our options bar. We're choosing the size of our stairs, so the width left to right, and we're choosing that we want to draw along the right exterior support, which means I can trace along the right-hand side of my staircase. I can also choose whether I'm drawing a straight run, a spiral, an L-winder, so on and so forth. I'm going to leave this the simplest option for this example. Just leave it on straight. Zoom in to around about where we've drawn this window and just hover over the external finished face of your plasterboard here and click. Revit will give you the shape of your stairs, and as you move your mouse upwards and downwards, it's going to give you risers. Now I want to come up probably just maybe 3 risers. I need to leave a meter here, remember. So maybe I'm going to come up 3 risers. If you look here, it's going to show you how many you've created. So I'm going to come up this many. Then I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to use my tracking tools to snap to and track off of the corner. Click again, hovering over this piece of partition, and move to the left. You'll see we haven't left enough space, so it's going to have all sorts of issues when it comes to creating that landing. So actually I'm going to undo and change my drawing ever so slightly to come up slightly earlier and then draw along the wall. So there's a little bit of trial and error. You'll be a lot more accurate than I've been here. You'll know the measurements that you want to work to, maybe draw some reference lines in there to get it a bit more accurate. But Revit's given me instant feedback, showing me when I've reached the height that I'm after, because I'm going from the ground floor to the first floor. I create my 15 rises in total, click my mouse, it gives me the outline of my stairs. If I then press the tick, we have our stairs in 2D. I'm going to click and hold my mouse, drag a window selecting my stairs and these walls here. And then from my modify view panel, clicking selection box, which will create me a section box in 3D, allowing me to rotate round and take a look at these stairs inside a 3D space. From here, I want to do a simple opening through my floor and through my ceiling so that my stairs can actually reach that top floor there. And again, we've got a few different ways of how you could do it. You can edit the boundaries of the floor, edit the boundary of the ceiling. I'm just going to use a simple opening, a vertical opening. So go ahead and go to your ground floor, go to architectural opening, vertical opening, and draw your profile. I'm just going to be really lazy and draw around my, just throw me a little bit there, vertical opening. I'll use a shaft. I'll tell you what, I'll use a shaft. So go back to your ground floor, use a shaft, and then use your lines or your rectangle tools to create a shaft in the right place. So I'm just going to create a rectangle and go from this corner all the way to the corner of the wall, like so, and press my tick. I'm then going to use my 3D section view and drag the ends of my cuts to make sure that they are only affecting those two elements. Naturally, I would come in and add some bulkheads here using some walls or something like that to tidy this up. But there we have created our staircase inside of Revit. Last thing I want to do is select this banister against the wall and delete it because we don't need it. And maybe select this banister and change it to a glass panel balustrade. And that's how we create a simple staircase inside of Revit. See you next time in CADvent. Thank you very much. Goodbye.